Baby girl, keep it real, no lies. She said she's 21, I said alright. If we gon' be grown, then speak your mind. I just wanna chill and vibe. 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 Soon as baby turn up, you know Buddha gon' turn up. Turn up, gon' turn up. Soon as baby turn up, you know Buddha gon' turn up. Gon' turn up. Soon as baby turn up, you know Buddha gon' turn up. Gon' turn up. Soon as baby turn up, you know Buddha gon' turn up. Let's start the show. Only good vibes. No, I'm serious. Let's start the show. Come on, mom. Come on, boss. Only good vibes. Turn up. Turn up.
Hey, what's good, sippers? This is your boy Buddha, and over there is the lovely
Baby.
And we coming to you live with another edition of
Sipping and Conversation.
Bam! So, baby, how was your day?
It was a great day to be great. So before I get into any more conversations, I want to make sure that you can all hear us in the audience. So if you can hear, say that. Give me some likes, give me some loves. Matter of fact, hit me a star too. So I want to make sure that because we're using, well, clearly I could be heard since you didn't want the viewers to do it.
Hey man, listen. What do you say? We are army of one.
Now, what's the point of them giving me a like and a love?
They gonna do that because they like and love us.
Okay.
Oh, what you sipping on, baby?
Okay. A dirty mimosa.
Ooh, a dirty one. What it taste like?
A geeked up mimosa.
Okay.
With the mimosas.
Okay.
It's got the mimosas.
So hey.
Y'all might not hear, but we hear certain things over here. Okay, so that was funny.
So look, check this out, man. So baby, your birthday was last week.
And
you told that motherfucker up.
Look.
Every day.
I tried to give it all I got. Give it all you got. Give it all you got. Give it all you got.
So what else happened this weekend?
Oh man. Shout out to LVO, MBO Field Day, Adult Field Day, F them kids, Adult Field Day. You hear me? Boy, look here. Your boy was out there hitting them with the on the slip slide.
I mean, like I had man titties out.
Hey.
The keg going. Booty meat show.
But the good part is nobody cared.
Ain't nobody.
Like everybody was intensely enjoying themselves. Like ain't nobody came out here. Well, if they did come out to be judgmental, shame on you. But the energy was so dope. And it was such a beautiful day.
All I don't know is when they seen that little fat boy in front of the line running, they thought they had me.
Oh, stop
the
it.
tape. Look at the tape.
I know I couldn't get it to move quick enough. So maybe on a break I can walk away for a while you're talking with our special guest tonight.
No doubt.
And I may be able to get it. I couldn't do it quick enough, so
It's okay.
there's that. And special thanks to Nick for allowing us the space to have the adult field day. That was awesome. Special shout out to my man to my left, your right. Tomorrow is the one and only Buddha's birthday. And I'm just gonna go ahead and get this out of the way now. Buddha will not be sitting next to me after this week for a while. He has received a promotion for his job, and he is relocating. Yes, Buddha is leaving Florida. I will eventually soon be following behind him. So at that point, we will then come back together, sitting next to each other. So as of this week, this is our last week sitting at the table with each other. You will see us in 2 different locations, but we are one band, one sound.
Yeah.
As he said. I'm a big old bag of emotional roller coaster bumper cars and all of that, but it's for the greater good. And so we're here. This is what's happening. So everybody that come in, y'all give a big old congratulations to Buddha and a happy birthday. $ Silk and Combo is the cash out. You are more than welcome to show love by way of that way. It will be awesome for you to geek these algorithms and utilize these stars. You'll find that at the beginning of when you were coming into the live. It should be somewhere above or beneath you. I'm not exactly sure. I know I sound kind of sad. I am. It's bittersweet, but we're going to be all right. We're going to do this. So big shout out to your damn selves for coming on every Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Welcome to all of our new viewers. Welcome back, old sippers. You already know what time it is. We got Spotify, we got iTunes, we got Google Podcasts, Breaker, Stitcher, Radio Public, YouTube. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers by July. Make it happen, because I know y'all can. You know what I'm talking about? And we can do this by July. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. So make it happen. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Y'all are not tuned in to Sipping in Conversations. Buddha, what you sipping on?
Well, I'm sipping on something a little different. I call this the Buddha apple.
A Buddha apple.
That's it. I mean, it comes with a little 20-gram apple, which is cognac and vodka infused. And then it has ginger ale and a cinnamon stick. That's kind of like the staple of a Buddha book.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And it kind of tastes like an apple pie.
I see you, boy.
Yeah. But I like to say one more thing. Baby, I love you. I'm always going to stand with you. I know we're going to be apart. And it's hard for me as well. When you put your roots down in the city, you expect it to grow and grow tall. But every now and then, you have to repot the soil. Repot. But that's not the end of this. You know, our relationship and our foundation is strong. And I love you.
Indeed. Now all that mushy stuff out the way, god damn. You about to make me cry. Help me. Listen, tonight we have special guests, and last week we talked about love, money, love, and all in between. So we're gonna bring our special guests in. Y'all know them. as Dr. Love Jones and Miss Hoodoo Rising, and together they are indeed Jim and I. Hey, 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 hey.
Listen, what's up?
Oh,
What up? What up?
Hey,
Can y'all hear me?
yes.
yes.
Yeah, look at
All right.
God.
So here's what I'm doing right now. I'm changing my little setup because I'm having technical hearing you guys. So in about 3.2 seconds, you're gonna see a different settings kick in. So
Oh, you fancy. That's what he doing. Simone, he's showing out.
Yes, he is. Okay, Flash.
Oh, okay.
he trying to outdo you.
Oh, okay. So, go ahead, baby.
Go ahead. You
Ask the
do
question.
what you do.
but yo, hold on. I gotta make sure I'm doing this right.
Yeah, we can see you and hear you, but I see your ear.
He's controlling from one place, clearly.
Yeah.
You know what he's doing.
Okay.
You get one view.
Oh Lord.
Now I'm gonna have to mute you.
Because you got echo.
All right. So we good? Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
You turn one of your volumes off, right?
Yeah.
All right, you should be good.
All
All right,
right.
boom.
So I don't know. Should I talk to you here or here? You know.
You don't be weird.
Yeah, matter of fact, you can cut one of them damn.
Listen, hey, Hoodoo was talking about my technology knowledge, but I told her I'm not new to this. I'm true to this.
I'm gonna need one. You turn one of your cameras off and use one as your volume. You don't get multi views. I'll take one off.
All right, I'll take it off. I got you.
Just turn one
I
camera
got you.
off.
There you go.
Weirdo. No, I'm just saying. We love you.
Of
Little
course.
nugget.
Listen, it
That's
wouldn't be
little
me if it
AKA
wasn't
little
me.
nugget.
Like, you know, but I'm here. You know, it's come for you live from New Jersey. What's going on?
Yeah.
Right.
So let's jump right into it.
I got one question though. Before you do, Gemini, how did y'all come to be?
Oh, damn.
Right? Already?
With our podcast,
Yeah.
well, the good doctor called me. We didn't like each other at first. When we first met, we didn't get along on social media. There was a lot of back and forth in LVO. And I always felt like the lovely doctor was trying to come for me. And he was always just having something to say about everything I said, just coming from me hard. Then I met him in person, and I was like, I don't like him, but then our energy was just good, and I was actually buying him drinks and everything when I met him. And then we started kind of hanging out with mutual friends here and there, and I did a little Facebook educational week about chakra balancing and meditation and different things. And then he really participated and we started developing a friendship. And after we became friends, he was like, you know what? I think you should write a book. And then a couple weeks later, he was like, I think you and I should do a spiritual podcast together. And at first I was like, whatever, it's not really going to happen. But we did it, and it's our year anniversary.
Let's go. It's
Happy
our
1 year
anniversary. It's our anniversary.
Don't quit your day job, boy.
Listen. Well, all these personalities I got, these skills, I could quit my day job and be good.
But singing ain't one of them.
Listen.
All right, baby. It's your show.
It's not. You did. You pretty much that's your one question. Okay.
No, but
it's on you. So okay. You guys have been together a year. What is the basis of what is the foundational, I guess, how would you describe Gemini as far as what content you actually provide your entertainers? Entertain.
All right, so
Yeah.
Gemini is a show where we talk. It's centered around spirituality. You know, we have conversations mainly on spiritual beliefs that's not truly spoken on many platforms. And then on top of that, we also dive into topics on social topics from a spiritual place and even some mental health in there and anything that can help those, especially those who are free spirits or who are in that space of growing spiritually, how they can be guided in the direction of doing the things that they want because we focus on growing ourselves and learning about ourselves and extending ourselves through the inner knowledge of ourselves. So that's basically what the content is on. Hoodoo, do you want to add to that?
I just feel that we are hoping to open people's minds to new ideas and different beliefs. I want us to awaken people so that they understand that the conditions they've been raised in and the rules that they know are not necessarily necessary. And so, with spiritual guidance from us that we prompt and doing your research, I just want people to open their eyes to different things, and that's mental health, physical aspects of healing, mental healing, emotional healing, and different spiritual practices, different aspects of bringing nature into your religious or spiritual practices, and things like that.
And to quickly add to, we're not trying to change anybody's belief system. We're just adding on and encouraging people to open their mind and their spirit to new ideas that can help them become the best version of themselves.
Awesome.
Makes sense. I get it. So when you are speaking about, the different levels of spirituality, how well received are your viewers?
I think our viewers receive us very well. I when I basically came out and started letting the people close to me know this is what I believe. I actually don't believe in what my parents taught me growing up, or these are the practices that I want to research, and this is what speaks to my soul. I expected to lose a lot of friends and a lot of family members, and I actually didn't lose any. And I feel like it was well received, and I feel like people look at me and Dr. Love Jones now and kind of respect us more for being who we truly are authentically. I feel like for over 30 years I was pretending to be something that I wasn't, and I feel like people felt that fake energy from me. And now that I can be who I am, I feel more respected and better received as a human.
No, I get it. I get it. So, what was your original background of spirituality?
Ooh, I grew up Seventh Day Adventist, um, very strict Seventh Day Adventist. I'm talking about when sunset on Friday night, we couldn't do anything except religious Christianity things. I was in church twice a week. We were at church on Wednesday. We spent the whole Saturday. For those of you guys that are listening who don't know, Seventh Day Adventist is similar to the Jewish religion. The only difference is Seventh Day Adventists believe in Jesus Christ, where Jews kind of, some do, some don't. But it was very strict. I would wake up in the morning and we would get up around 6 a.m. and sit at the table, and we would have what you call devotion. And my dad would read the Bible. We would sing religious hymns, and we would pray, and that's how we would start the day before we go out. We would pray at the table before every meal, and then in the evening we would pray before we go to bed. And on Friday night, when that sun set, it was devoted to religion until Saturday when sunset. And we spent Saturday at church all day long. There was no Friday night sport. You know, I remember growing up in my family, we couldn't watch TV Friday nights, and on Monday, all my friends at school were talking about family matters, and I didn't watch that show, not one episode, until I was an adult. But it was very strict, and I went to a Seventh-day Adventist college, and yeah, after I think at the age of about 33, I left the church. I just decided that's it, and I left the church. I talked some about it on our first episode of Gemini, where I tell the story about how I switched from Christianity to what I practice now, and yeah.
Okay. That's whew, that's a lot. And I know that the transition was challenging, and because as you mentioned, you were unsure of how your family and friends would receive. So, because I know you both, you guys, you and Javon personally, I should say, we know you personally. Um, I know you to be an introvert. Okay. How has being up on the podcast, how, or has it helped? Because now you're becoming a public, you're becoming a celebrity.
You asking Dr. Love Jones?
I'm asking
Over you.
Hoodoo Rising,
Oh,
first of all.
well, technically, I'm actually the most introverted extrovert. So technically, I am an extrovert, but right on the border of introvert. And I feel like being on the podcast hasn't really changed a whole lot of that. I'm still a very introverted extrovert. You know, I'm the type of person where it takes me a while to show that extrovert side of me. And I have walls up, and I know it has a lot to do with my past, but what the podcast has done for me is allow me to hold myself accountable for a lot of my healing. When I'm talking to people, I feel like, you know, somebody the other day was like, "Oh, you from that Gemini show?" And I'm like, "Me? What?" And she's like, "Yeah, you on Gemini." And I'm thinking, okay, well, people are actually listening to this, because I'm just preaching to myself and just trying to hold myself accountable. And I just feel like I'm studying these things, I'm practicing these things, and then I'm saying them out loud and preaching to myself every episode. And every guest we have is changing my life just a little bit. And I have something to take away every single time we do an episode. And hearing myself speak, it's almost like I'm not really speaking. It's like the higher power is speaking to me during these episodes. And when I leave, I live my life differently, because it's like, okay, you talk the talk, you better walk the walk.
I got it. I get it. What do you have to add to that? And what do you mean? What do you want to say to Javon?
I mean, he can answer the same question.
Unmute yourself, Javon.
Okay, yeah. So I I can say most people might see my outgoing personality, but I'm a huge introvert in the sense that in new environments I get really nervous. So it's always a nerve thing to do. So when I start off the podcast, I'll start off with the "Hey, what's going on? Welcome to Gem." I do that to kind of break myself out of that introvert. And the reason why is because there's that part of me, and it comes from past, trauma that I'm discovering, some I'm still working on, is that fear of being judged is that fear of people not knowing what I am, fear of that people thinking that, oh, you're not all of that. Like, who are you to have that podcast? So I have these voices in my head. So sometimes I start off with that energy just to physically break myself out of it. So it's like the idea of, it's like jumping into a pool opposed to like trying to, tap your toe in. It's then me jumping into this action. So I don't have my thoughts to overpower and my fear. And I'm at a point now I'm at that point where I'm more comfortable. I don't really have those thoughts. But what's changed for me by doing it is, as Hoodoo said, it makes me be accountable. Like, I can't be out here, talking about spirituality and all it is and high and but I'm living a different life, or I'm not congruent with my message. So it's a level of accountability of growth that I'm always have to keep myself under, because if I don't do it, then it's going to come off authentic. And I think one of the things that makes our podcast hit and where we get such a great feedback, it comes from a genuine, authentic place.
Yeah.
Understood.
Yeah. I get it.
I thought it was dope, man. Good answer.
Thank you.
So, when it's all said and done, ladies and gentlemen, what do you want to be remembered by? We start with you, Hoodoo Rising.
At the end of the day, this doesn't have a whole lot to do with what we're talking about tonight, but the most important role in my life is a mother. And at the end of the day, I only care what my children think of me and the experience that they had as me being their parent. And when I leave this earth and transition to an ancestor, I only care that my kids feel that I was a good mom and that my grandchildren feel that I was a good grandmother and that I was authentic and real and honest and not narcissistic or manipulative, which so many mothers in the Black community can be. And the most important thing for me is to heal so that I don't traumatize my children, because I know I've been a mother since I was 19, and I know growing up, raising my children, I made some mistakes. But at the end of the day, I just hope that I turned it around and healed enough and became who I truly am in time, so that I'm remembered as a good mother.
Damn.
Okay. Give it to me.
All right. So for me, I want to be remembered for doing the work, right? So, of course, I got other things, being a business in myself, what I do, healing, coaching, and speaking, being an author that I am. I want to be remembered for the person who not only talked the talk, but walked the walk. Because we often see everybody that does that. And I want that for my family. I want that for my daughter, to see that everything I said I was going to do, everything I talked about, I did it, or I did my best to make sure that I achieved it at a high level. Because oftentimes I believe that the thing that we leave behind, one thing that we always leave behind is this, right? We can talk about the money that we leave behind, the inheritance, right? We can talk about the assets, or making sure they're financially well off. What I want to make sure is that the people that I'm impacting, especially mainly my daughter, is to know that I'm leaving back information. I'm leaving back a legacy. I'm leaving back stories, something that can be shared to me, that can be shared about me after I'm gone. Because we know some of the greatest of greats. My daughter knows who Michael Jackson is, and he was not even she was not even alive when he transitioned. So that same impact, and it's because what I do, I'm sharing my heart with the world, and I want that to be felt and remembered by.
Okay. One last question.
Y'all all right. Y'all all right, boy. Y'all all right.
All right. So how can they tune in to Jim and I?
So we go live every Thursday at 7 p.m. on The Culture Radio. You can go to thecultureradio.com. Also, if you don't happen to be there at 7 o'clock on thecultureradio.com, you could do is you could catch all of our podcast episodes that we've done so far. We have 36 right now, 36 episodes. You can go look up, just type in Jen and I and all the podcast lists. You could Google us. We're on Spotify. We're on Apple. We're on Podbean. We're on any platform that is hosting podcasts. We're on. So I Castbox, iHeartRadio. So we have a couple of things. So that's the best way. Y'all want to check us out, you can check out our past episodes or tune in every Thursday for our new episodes.
So when you say Jim, you talking about GEM?
Yes. GEM.
Okay.
GEMNEYE. Right? Gem and I. There you go. Gem and I podcast. Yeah. Oh, by the way, the melanin on them two people in that flyer is like straight popping. Like that melanin is so like.
It's 4 people and it's popping.
Not,
Get
but
yourself together.
I'm sorry. I my apologies, but you know, I saw that I saw a picture to the right, and it was like,
You
oh,
want to see it
yeah,
again?
that's, you know, that was me when I had the little the hair. You know, I'm a little low cut, but I'm still me. Nah, but but I think I love this side by side because it's two platforms coming together. Y'all been the main inspiration to us and many others y'all been doing this for a while. So I just love that we right beside you guys. Salute to you guys as well.
We appreciate it, you know, because everybody that believed in each other, you know, starting with you with your book, you know, and you said you wanted to do these things, and we like, let's go, let's run it, you know. And you've been doing it, you know.
Take it off, man.
And I know with Simone, as far as Miss Hoodoo Rising, you know, I know for these last 4 years watching her on her spiritual journey, and to see you all merge together, and then we all come together and collab. That's what you do when you're in the same squad. You know, you make sure you bring your people where they need to be.
You see this dude?
Is he taking a picture of himself?
No. I'm actually it's something. Yeah. Don't mind me.
Yeah.
Okay, she's on mute, so I feel like she's trying to.
Nothing you said.
I feel like
unmute yourself.
It says the host has unmuted my mic.
Yes.
Got it.
All right. I was just saying, Dr. Love Jones, just be here with us. Be present. Aren't we enough?
I'm present. I'm actually doing something on the behalf of here. I'm not doing anything else. I'm present.
Okay.
All right. So you guys are being streamed. You are being streamed. We are streaming on Facebook and YouTube simultaneously. And that's awesome. So that means we're reaching a whole different platform as well as you are. And so with that being said, repeat your contact information as far as when you can be seen, and shoot out a few of the platforms that you are available.
We are on the Culture Radio app every Thursday at 7 p.m. You can go on to the Culture Radio app by downloading it onto your mobile device, or you could log on to thecultureradio.com. If you miss a live episode and you want to hear our past episodes, then you can go to Spotify. You can go to all the different iHeartRadios, all the streaming podcast applications, and you can just Google GEM capital NEYE, and we will come up and you can find all of our episodes. And like Dr. Lovejoy said, we are on episode number 36, and we are celebrating 1 year. So next week is our 1 year celebration episode, and that will be next Thursday at 7 p.m. on the Culture Radio.
And that's 7 p.m. Eastern
Standard Time.
Okay. Give it up for y'all. I'm telling you, like, you know, and it goes so fast. You don't even think about it.
It does. I'm like, man, it's like a year. I was like, it seemed like last year. Shoot, we were just doing this. Like, and it shows you sometimes when you just put your head down and just go forward, how much time will pass and how much, you know, how quickly things like this come. So I just look forward to the following year and after that, because the amount of growth from what we got done in our first year, we can handle what happened to us our first year with some of the things that happened to us personally and collective. There's a lot more to come, and you know, I'm looking forward to that.
All right.
Okay. So listen, we're just gonna take a little quick break, and we're gonna come right back, and go into our show. Talk a little bit about
the topic.
Something that you actually had posted, Simone. Okay. So we're gonna be right back. Give us some.
Oh, I love it already.
Oh, this is for the simples. Yeah. We sipping in conversation. We sipping in conversation. We sipping in conversation. Yeah. We sipping in conversation. We sipping in conversation. What it is, or what it do. If your homegirl sipping, then bring her on through. What it is, or what it do. If your homegirl singing, then bring her on through, baby.
What it is, what it do. If your homeboy sipping, then gon' come through. What it is, what it do. If your homeboy sipping, come through.
What it is, or what it do. If your homegirl sipping, then bring her on through. What it is, or what it do. If your homegirl singing, then bring her on through, baby.
What it is, what it do. If your homeboy sipping, then gon' come through. What it is, what it do. If your homeboy sipping, come through.
We sipping in conversation. We sipping in conversation. Yeah. We sipping in conversation. We sipping in conversation.
Real talk, real life, real peak. Real talk, real life, real people. Hey, real talk, real life, real people. Real talk, real life, real people. Buddha and Baby.
Hey.
Y'all check this out. Let me show y'all a little something.
Oh no.
Let me see if I can get it in there real quick.
What she got on me? She's finna sneak me or something.
If it...
Lord.
Oh Lord.
Oh,
You seen all that booty meat? I tell you what, I'm definitely plump.
listen. I don't know how I feel about that. I don't
Hey,
know
all
how
you
people
just
feel
know,
about that.
all you need to know is we won.
Okay, Buddha.
We won.
Look,
It was team sip and bottleless conversation all in one.
All I
I
know
just
is if I had been there, whoever team I want was on was gonna win. Like
Oh man.
if we had
that's
the,
what the
if we
other
had the,
team thought.
if we had the, Robin.
She
Hey
said that's
man,
what
I
the
don't
other
know.
team thought too.
Listen, I'm not speaking on other teams. I just know that when it comes to me and what I do, it's
Listen,
straight for the top. That's all. That's all we go.
all I'm gonna tell you is we had some athletic women that carried the team to the championship.
That co-ed was what it was.
That's what it was. Like at the end of the day, that first run, that first heat, we killed it. But the second heat, the women brought it on home. Because I showed almost gave it away.
He tried. He definitely tried. So
Hey,
listen,
but salute to y'all
tonight
winning.
we're gonna jump right into it. Everyone wants something real with someone real until they meet someone who's real. Standard challenge them to be real, consistent, real considerate, and real committed. So get into it, Buddha.
I'm curious to figure out why people stand by that post. So I'm gonna go to the person who posted first because she was feeling this 110%. So I want to get her feelings behind it.
I just feel what I feel like that post says is that people, when they get into a relationship, they are thinking so much about what that relationship can do for them, and they don't understand that a lot of times when you're coming into the relationship, that person that you are entering that situation with wants similar things that you want. So you want something real with someone, but are you able to give the consistency? And are you able to meet the standards and the challenges that come with being with a real one?
So is it really are you able or is it more are you willing?
I think it's sometimes are you willing, sometimes are you able. Some people are just unable to give what they've never received or what they've never been taught. Some people they are as consistent and as loving and as giving as they know how to be. And it's just not enough sometimes because they didn't get that, they don't know it, or they've been traumatized in some way to where their walls are so high that they're unable to reciprocate what they're getting from another person.
Okay.
So I wanted to read that again. Well, so everyone can see it again, I should say. The post was everyone wants something real with someone real until they meet someone whose real standards challenge them to be real consistent, real considerate, and real committed.
What you got, baby?
Well, kind of like all the potential get you in the door, making it, what they say, faking it till you make it. Everything gets you to a point. Um, but for sustainable purposes, how, that's why the willingness, your grit, what you truly want is what you're going to get out of it. And so I feel that so many people, especially in this day and age, they're so fixated on the illusion of happiness, the illusion of love, or whatever, like some big thing, because social media, you know, you it has allowed for one to be whatever their desires, and people are gunning it. Once upon a time, it was just mostly just watching the celebrities and all of those things. But now, with all the platforms, the Snapchat, the filters, the Instagrams, all of them. There's a bunch of them. We kids, Bigo, Bigo, whatever. It's just so many, that you could be whatever you can create. You can create, and so and it goes into the post that I made as well. It's like, how much of you is real versus social media you know and it was alarming to see that people were like, I only put out so much. Like, I'm only using these platforms for entertainment purposes. And people are only going to get 10% of me, or this, I'm only going to give you so much of the real me on social media. And I get it, to each their own. However, I still feel that there is a lot of people, there's a lot of, there's a higher percentage of people being their true self, because it's like this: the more you do something, the more you become that. So if you're on social media and you're portraying to be this thing or this person, you're eventually going to become that.
That is true.
I
Look,
can't hear you. Unmute yourself. I
I would
got you.
love to interject with that. I would like to reframe what you just said respectfully, right? I don't think that's what they become. I think that's who they are already.
okay.
I think what happens is there's a part, unless you're a professional actor or you're a professional someone that knows how to tap into an identity or something outside of you. Most people on social media are portraying who they are. It's just a small percentage of who they are. So that person who might be sitting there, oh, I'm trolling, I'm not that serious. There's always an ounce of seriousness in every joke. It's always an ounce of something there where a person may be thinking that, oh, I'm not, I'm only just showing a part of me. But the truth is, that's who you are. There's a light side and there's a shadow side. And a lot of people will portray their shadow and say, oh, that's just a character I'm portraying. No, that's just a part of their personality.
Okay.
And I have no problem with that. But I do know that there's a lot of people, quite a few people, they didn't, their intentions weren't what it evolved, to be. It's like seeing that shy girl or that shy guy that didn't have access to all the guys, all the girls, all the people, at one point. So they started out being the humble. Let me just draw, let me see, oh, well, let me get into, oh, well, these are the types of pictures. So then the whole catfishing came about, right? So now I can give you a top part, I can give you an angle, I can do certain things to give a different look about myself. And then I'll embed myself in different groups and just start
Mm.
grabbing a whole of different personalities. And then you actually can begin to recreate yourself. And it's okay, because that's what evolution is for. But on, depending on your goal, if you're achieving whatever it is you set out to do, then big ups to you. Whether be it good or bad, to me, if that's what your goal was, your mission, boom boom, do you do. But I do feel that, so a lot of people, the more they do this thing, they realize they can get the attention, or that they never would get if they weren't. So eventually, when the people do meet you, they may point you out to be the controversial person or the asshole or whatever, but they know who the fuck you are too.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Are you gonna answer the question though, Love Joan?
Okay, so pertaining to the post, right? Pertaining to the post.
Sorry.
Now I know this is what we do, but yeah. So I love that post, right? I love to read it. Everybody wants something real with someone real until they meet someone whose real standards challenge them to be real consistent, real considerate, and real committed. See, the thing about most people is, I love this saying so much, is that everybody say that they want something, but do they truly want it? Because it's like the old saying goes, is that you get what you want, but you may get what you want, but do you want what you get? And oftentimes everybody love this idea of having that real one, that real person, that real thing. But when it causes you to have to tap, you gotta be that real one too. And being that real one causes you to not only, you're not going to always be perfect, you're going to not always going to do the right things, but you're going to make mistakes, you're going to falter, you're not going to be always the most considerate, you're not going to be always the most caring, the most consistent. But what it does is holds you accountable so that you can start progressing in those same things. But the problem is people have what it's called the fixed mindset, and it's the idea of being already that thing. If it requires them, a person with a fixed mindset is this. If it requires them to grow, because there's a fixed mindset and there's a growth mindset. A fixed mindset is a person who's fixed on the idea of being that very thing that they want to be. So they'll be that character, that idea. If they're not, if being that they're a fixed mindset, if someone challenged them to say, hey, this requires you to grow, right? They're not going to do it because they're fixed in their own ways. And a lot of people want to have a real one, but they're too fixed in their own ways to be able to enjoy that real one. So I love it. I agree with that statement.
Interesting.
Good job.
So what do people say? What y'all got on this? Like, y'all want a real one, but then it's like seeing the person that got like the hood celebrity, right? Or just seeing the person on TV and so forth, right? I want the nice car. I want a nice house. I want a few dollars in my pocket. I want this. I want the pool. I want, you know what I'm saying? Like, I want these things, but do I want to walk in the shoes that they walked in, on that path, in the shoes that they had to use to get where they got, So it's like, do I really want that? Or that's why, it's like, I want a real man, I want a real woman, I want this, but then do you want to lose sleep? Because he got to be working out of town. He got to leave the state to go work somewhere else and not be in the bed with you. But you got a real one. But he got to go. He got to come home on the weekend.
Speaking of that, congratulations, Buddha.
Yeah, they gave me
Oh yeah.
I'll get like
Yeah.
You're just sitting there.
Mute you. I got you. I mute you. So that's one of the things that I think about when I see when people say they want to be, I want a real man, I want a real woman. But then you want a real woman, but you want to talk about she wearing makeup.
Okay.
I mean, a real woman is going to wear makeup. A woman, period. She's going to periodically enhance her beauty. May not be every day, but she will frequent enhancement measures periodically, even if she's natural. Unless that's just a full restriction, then it is what it is. But ultimately, you're going to get this hair. You're going to get this color. You're going to get this lip gloss or eyelashes, nails, everything did. Okay, but does that define me as not being real? Absolutely not. You know, a man that has 6 figures, he probably worked long hours. He probably is not 100% available. It's something is going to be missing. He has to, I don't know. But he may not be 100% emotionally there. He may not be, or he may be 100% emotionally there, but he's not 100% physically there. But does that make him not a real man? It just depends. It's situational, right? So people run up on this. They want these things, but they don't want the challenges and the expectations that are aligned with that where that level is. You think being in a bracket that's just using income as a bracket, a 6-figure bracket, don't require work. Like, you think you're just gonna get this 6-figure man or woman, and you're not gonna be expected to cook? Maybe you don't. Maybe he or she has afforded a lifestyle where you have a personal chef, a nanny, a housekeeper. You may be able to have those luxuries, but you're still gonna be expected to do something else. Maybe you don't have to work, but he or she may expect, who's gonna do this? Help me around the house with, administrative things. Like, are you willing to do that?
And a lot of
But go ahead.
a
I'll
lot
let after you.
one of the things that I see that takes place a lot when it comes to relationships is the women want a man who is making a lot of money or successful in his career, and then when they get with this person wants them to also be maybe not financially successful, but also ambitious in some way, and not just a person who's content with things. Somebody who is a dreamer and who goes after what they want, they usually want to see their partner going after something, maybe not financial, but something that sets their soul on fire. They want to see them growing and moving. While they're doing the financial thing, they want to see this female maybe doing her own personal business, or just doing something in art, poetry, or writing, or redecorating the house, or taking different business classes, just learning different things. And sometimes you have to understand that when you get with the person that you want, you have to be in alignment with them. You have to be their dream as well. You're not just going to get your blessing and be a curse to someone else.
Good job.
Man,
All right. Been sitting here waiting patiently, baby. Y'all did great. All of y'all good. Great points.
You know what he about to do.
Yeah.
Put up the post again.
About to change my mind about what I think.
No. Read it to me one more time. Good time, baby.
Everyone wants something real with someone real until they meet someone whose real standards challenge them to be real consistent, real considerate, and real committed.
Okay. Now, I got 2 thoughts. Both of them thoughts don't have nothing to do with y'all say. First thought, the key word is real. That word itself is subjective to the person's perspective. Because what I may perceive as real, you may not. And what you may perceive as real, I may not. So the word is subjective. So when you start talking about challenging standards, commitment, and all the other stuff, if I don't perceive that to be real, then of course it may be challenging to you. So that's one way of looking at it. I guess. So it comes back to this idea of what makes the thing real.
Okay.
Right. So that's why. So we got a lot of facts, but see, it's a lot of projecting yourself on a person who may not be willing to receive you for who you are. Like you said, alignment. I feel that 110%. Go back to the post again. Said everyone is someone real. Someone really until they meet someone real standards. I mean, we talked about this, Simone. Hoodoo Rising. Sorry, we talked about this. So, in a society today, where you could be who you want to be, as you already talked about. So physically, I've seen a person, a man, dress up as a woman, call himself transgender because this is who you believe to be, and go wrestle in the Olympic, and everybody was like, "Yeah, he's a woman." I also seen a person dress up as a woman again, man dress up as a woman again, go to prison as a woman, and then somebody end up pregnant. But again, society said, use a woman. So again, it goes back to we are the authors of what we choose to be and what we choose to think. What you think. So, and society is giving us the opportunity to be that, and they're not going to question it. If you want to be a woman with all the man parts, that's what you're going to be, a woman. If you want to be a man and you want to be you're a woman, you want to be a man, all you got to do is say, that's what I am. And they're going to have to take you for face value. And they're going to have to create genderless specific bathrooms so you can do what the hell you want to do. So you don't feel offended. Because the world is sensitive now. So that kind of butts up against that particular post in certain aspects, in my opinion. Just my opinion.
So, you hit some great points right there. And I think what it comes down to is that I define what's real. I define what's real, right? If I go to example Buddha, not saying it's real, but let's say, I said, Buddha, you're just acting on these shows. You're not really like that, right? I'm 100% right because that's how I truly feel. Regardless if other people feels differently, I feel this way because at the end of the day, what matters sometimes, and this is what we all gotta go. We define what's real for us, even if you're not complete. Even if everybody's against what you feel is real, I feel like the problem I have with a lot of these, with the examples that you brought up, is that they want people to say that they're real and they're real this and real that. I feel like that's the antithesis of real, because real don't need permission to be real. Real is real.
But in those
So
situations where he's talking about they require outside validation to feel real because they go through so much to become whatever it is they feel that they are. But because of certain mental health issues that we're not going to dig that deep into, but because of that, they require the outside acceptance and validation. And lots of times you see people enraged when they don't receive it.
Yeah, and you're absolutely right. And for me, for my mental health, I'm not about to be enraged by anybody else's. And because at the end of the day, it's like I'm not saying I'm not knocking it because everybody got to do what is best for them and what they feel is right. I feel like what real comes down to is this. Think about it. My quote that I say: "There's a time to be humble and a time to let your nuts
Oh,
hang."
you
Right?
cutting out.
How about now? Y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So that saying, time to be humble and there's a time to let your nuts hang. When you are letting your nuts hang, it's not permission. It's not everybody needs to know that I'm letting my nuts hang. I'm just doing it. I'm just doing it. And I feel like what it
You're
comes down
breaking
to
up.
what it comes down to at the
Yeah.
end of the day. Yeah. Yeah. So what it comes down to at the end of the day is you define what's real. Be you. Recognize that. If I decide to go, if me and somebody's dating, I'm in a relationship, and someone tells me internally this person is not being real, then I have every right to say, you know what, this ain't gonna work because I need something that's more real, that's more in alignment to what I see is real. Because I believe a lot of things is not real. And that's me. I'm questioning everything. That does not mean that I'm wrong or they're right. It doesn't mean they're right and I'm wrong. One of the things is I've learned to think what I think, feel what I feel, and detach it from being right or wrong. Because if I feel that way, I feel that way. If I'm seeking to be right, then I'm going to act. I'm going to seek it. But if I'm not seeking it, I'm just comfortable with who I am.
I mean, just remember, just to give you another example, man.
Yeah.
The history books tell you this. One person thought that the world was round, and the other person thought that the world was flat. You know what I'm saying? So, how did you prove that the person was right or wrong until you flew out to go to outer space and see exactly what it was? One could say the world was flat. I mean, that's
I
just
like
my.
that example because no one has the expertise. Everybody gets enraged when somebody says the earth is flat. And to me, I don't know. I always say I don't know enough to know if the earth is flat or if the earth is round. I know we were taught as kids that the earth is round, but we also were taught that milk does the body good. We all know that's bullshit.
Hey, pass it on. All right. Well, baby got something here. Hold on. Let's see what she got.
I saw the look on your face, Hoodoo, aka Miss Simone. And I wanted to try and share it. And we're not going to dive into it. But hopefully I can get everything to. I'm on a different device right now.
Well, anyway, it's good to have you guys on.
Anyway, I understand y'all saying is, I understand it's branding, it's what you're sitting on, anything. But it is 420. Can it be what you smoking on as well?
Well, I'll be hanging out with our 4 chicken friends pretty soon.
Listen, right
Yeah.
now I'm in a state that is legalized.
It's not clicking
Just read it
over
for
real
him, baby.
quick.
Just read it for him.
Well, I don't want to lose my screen, so you just need to be patient with me.
All right.
Listen, no, but
I'm on a different device right now, so it's
Hoodoo, what you
basically,
saying?
they were talking about. They were talking about the women's rights being challenged now because of that situation with the prisoner getting pregnant from another prisoner who happened to be transgender.
My thing is,
So I'll just give it to me, Hoodoo.
my thing is, okay, I'm a nurse and I work in a healthcare facility where patients are admitted. We have transgender patients that come every blue moon. But the thing is, if you still have the perigenitalia of a male or a female, that is what you should be considered when it comes to any type of confinement situation. So if you are saying that you are a female, but you still have a ball sack, you have to go with the men, in my opinion. And if you
I
are
agree.
a female who is now saying that you are a man and you look like a man, but you still have a vagina, you have to go with the women. Point blank, period. That's how we do it in healthcare.
I
I
understand.
don't know why that's not how they do it in the justice system.
It is crazy too because what they're doing is there's a difference between gender and sex. Right now, they're trying to make gender overtake sex. So sex don't even matter. Your sex don't matter no more. It's what your gender and people making gender to be the thing that whatever they identify with. Which I feel like at the end of the day, there's a biology thing, that biology point that we got to go, the anatomy that exists also. And if your biology, as Hoodoo said, if you have those parts, that's who you are from a sex standpoint. I think bathrooms or prisons should be based on sex, not gender.
And I feel like, don't get me wrong, people should be whatever they feel in their soul they are.
Facts.
However, if your journey is incomplete, you're gonna have to go with the other gender. Sorry.
I hear you, but again, society said he was a woman.
Mm-hmm.
He, she was a woman, and they allowed him, she, him, to be with the women. You understand?
And that was a big ball drop. I don't know how they dropped that ball because
They
No
didn't
pun
really drop
intended.
the ball. What
You meant to
happened
say no
is
pun
the
intended.
activists.
I tell you what, his balls dropped.
Hey,
Exactly. Balls did drop in that.
What it is, the activists fought for equality, and you have the right to choose this, that, and the third, blah blah blah. And now, when they realize it's a working part, just because I identify, the reality is you still have a functioning working part of your origin.
yeah,
And
then
just let a whole bunch of women in
like
prison know that thing work.
right, you got a female. I am a female, but did I tell y'all I'm a lesbian with a dick?
Yeah, you're right. I mean, in her mind, she was having sex with a woman.
Yeah,
They lesbians.
yeah.
I
It
can't
just
stand
it
it.
wasn't no strap on though.
It is
It was
strapping on.
no, my bad. It's a natural strap on. It's a strap on that don't come off.
That's right. Shoot up the club. Bang, bang, bang.
I don't know. So when you try, when they say real, like you say real, it's actually one of those words that's used loosely.
Yeah.
This is really a remote. This is really lip gloss. I could possibly not really be a woman.
Don't do that.
But
to
I
me.
am.
All the time.
What you see a woman, you know, it moves and it feels like a woman, but I could identify as a man. And then what? It's like
Society's gonna say you a man,
they're
and
gonna
then that's
allow
your
me
new
to be a
reality.
man, and then it
But
becomes the new reality.
but
So
back
how
to
does
what
that relate to being considerate? And what's the others? Me
Uh,
being challenged on. Let
Having
me
real
make sure I
etiquette.
say it correctly. Committed. I could be committed. I could be consistent. I could be considerate. You know, I could do all those things, but yet, let's say that hypothetically, I identify as a man.
well, I mean, we ain't have to go that way, man. It just could
Why?
be
Because you don't want me.
no. It comes down to beliefs, spirituality, and all those things in between, right? Because if they don't line up, your reality, what you feel is real, versus what the other person feels is real, is always going to be a battle.
That is true. Because my standards might not meet so and so standards. I might think I have high standards till I get with somebody who got real high standards. And then I ain't meeting their standards. And I thought I had high standards, and to them, I ain't nothing.
facts?
But it
And,
don't make them less real than yours, though.
That's right, that's true. But
and,
it's
and,
all in the everybody's perspective is their reality. And so you
That's
got to
it.
make sure that when you get with somebody again, you are aligned, in alignment, because my high standards, I might look at Joe over here, and Joe's standards are way too high, in my opinion, but Sue over here, her standards are too low. But Sue thinks she got high standards. Joe might think his standards are not high enough. But in my opinion, it's the opposite. So I just need to make sure that when I am forming something with someone or someone's, I make sure that we are all on the same page.
Bingo.
And then
and
that means you got to ask questions. You got to
Yes,
ask the correct
absolutely.
questions. It's all about asking those questions because what one's perception is all along. You're thinking this is what you think that's what they're thinking, but then later on you get in and it's like you start seeing they're not moving like what you thought, and then when you ask and then they say no, I don't care about that, or no, you're like,
But
why didn't you tell me? I didn't know we had to have this discussion. Well, we do. And now it's like, what do you do? Because you vested what, 6 months, a year into this situation to now find out you didn't do your due diligence to vet your person.
right.
Yeah,
So
and what and one thing I wanted to say earlier is this, right? I, I'm gonna say this again. I do not care what the world say. In my reality, my rule, what I say is law, because what I perceive is law. You know, and if I perceive you, and I don't perceive you to be what I consider a woman in my eyes, I have every right to say no. If if your standards, I mean a lot of good women. There's a lot of good women. That doesn't mean that they're the one for me, right? And it doesn't make them a lesser of a person, or it doesn't make them less of a woman. It doesn't make them a less of a real one. They could be a real one, but they're not real for me, because what's real for me requires a certain texture that not everything, not every cloth can be of that texture. And it's okay that you're not that texture for me, because you might be that texture for somebody. It's just that we got to get real okay with saying that, hey, that's not good enough for me. And we have to be real good enough to say, I'm not good enough for certain people. Because it's like,
Yeah.
example, my book is not for everyone. There is somebody that will not get nothing from my book, and that is okay. My job is not to make people who are not it be it. My job is to connect with people who are it for me. I'm gonna be wasting my time trying to make somebody that's not it be it.
I got you. So I was gonna say, what's creating this idea? I believe is the cancel culture. You know what I'm saying? If you don't believe what I believe in, we're gonna cancel you. So what do? Even if you don't believe, you just fake it till you make it. You know what I'm
I
saying?
believe cancel culture is an illusion.
Is it?
I believe it's an illusion.
I
I
don't
believe.
know.
I
People
mean,
got canceled.
Hey, here's what it comes down to, right? For you to get canceled is that you mattered way too much to people who really don't matter, right? People who love your music and care for your stuff and your craft or whatever you're doing will continue to support you when other people stop supporting you.
No,
you're right.
No, I'm saying there.
But
no. Let me give you an example right there. My best friend, R. Kelly. I grew up listening to R. Kelly. I love R. Kelly's music with all my heart. After I found out what he was up to, done. And I was a true fan. Couldn't nobody tell me anything about R. Kelly. I was in it. But after finding that out, no. And I feel like a lot of people, and it has affected his pockets. He canceled.
right, especially if they hold to money as their god. If you take that money away, that's it.
Yep.
But that's my point right
I'm
there.
gonna be a hypocrite, y'all.
I'm gonna be.
R.
First of
Kelly.
all, I'm,
I listen to Chris Brown. I listen to
all
them terrible people that done did terrible. Those people that done terrible things into society. Because I like the songs, I like the music,
and
and
for
I
me,
just close my eyes.
and
Yeah.
think
and
of
for
the
me,
person you want to think of.
And that's okay.
and what I would say for me is I don't know anybody's personal life to swear on their character, but if that music give me a bop, a feeling, or a feel, I'm gonna. That's what it is for me.
I
But
believe I can fly.
That's how I feel on
I
420.
believe I
but
can touch the sky.
but
Think
what I would say
about
though, but why I say it's an illusion is this, right? If I don't connect success with just the money you make or what you do. It's about expressing your art, right? And as long as I'm expressing my art and people do love it, then it is what it is. Because here's the thing: every one of us sitting at this table, that if we had, let's say, 1 million+ people listening, watching, paying attention to us, they might find something that is not cool, and there are people that might say, "Oh, he said this, he did this in the past, or did that, she did this." We're not gonna listen to them, And guess what? I'm not doing. I never care about the masses in the sense of doing anything because I don't want any person who believe in something that may not be real about me to be supporting my platforms or anything I'm doing. If they support, great. I'm grateful for it, but I don't want that illusion to be there so that when something happened that break that illusion of that false reality they created for us, said time out.
Time out. I mean, you sounded great. But I'm going to ask you this question. What are you? Are you an influencer?
I don't
Yes,
like
you
that
are.
term. I don't like that term.
Well, that's what you. I mean, you may not like
if
it.
that's what it is, cool. I don't
But
identify
that's
as
what
that.
it is.
I don't.
Okay.
Here's the thing. I don't identify. If that's what you want to call me, I don't
Understand.
reject it. I don't reject it.
Okay.
Like I'm not
Well,
rejecting it.
understand what you do and what you said earlier today about what you want people to believe about you, that you stand on your word and you do the things that you do. And that's why you live and do your thing a certain way, because you got to hold yourself accountable, and you are an influencer. That kind of contradicts what you just said.
All right, so now let me help you. I'm not reeling it. I'm gonna frame it in a way.
As an influencer.
No,
Or do you
because
have influencer parts?
here's the thing. I think we all have ability to influence within all of us, right? But that's not my soul. That's not my purpose. Just to be an influencer. Like I don't reject it. So if you think I'm an influencer, great. I'm not saying that's not me, but I'm saying I don't see myself that way. But what I do, but how I would say this is that there's a certain way of living, right? Is that
Mm-hmm.
when I said I'm doing the work, it means the work may not be always complete. The work could be
Mm-hmm.
incomplete. But me being congruent with my message to say, hey, I didn't do this correctly. I didn't do that. I'm growing. I make mistakes. I accept who I am. I love me regardless. That's what
Right.
means. So for me, I don't when I say who I am, my job is to more so be me. And
I understand.
if being me influence other people to be them, then great, I take that. But
So,
at the end of the day, for me, it's not about being influenced, it's just about me being who I am.
okay, the inner man said it's about being who you are. But as soon as you drop that jewel, as soon as you drop that knowledge into the ether and the atmosphere, you're hoping it reach something, somebody, right? And at that point, you wishing and hoping that it influences a person to push them to the better part of who they can be.
Inspire
To
them.
be,
And that, my friends,
I
is
don't
an
hope.
influencer.
I'm gonna be honest with you. To be all the way honest, I'm not in
Mhm.
control of what somebody reacts to me. I know
You're
that
in
if
control of your mouth.
no, I'm controlling what I say. Facts.
What that
but
mouth do?
but yes, I'm in control of what I say and the energy I put out there. And
And who
and my
sees it
thing
too.
is, as long as I'm being who I am, I know it's going to impact others. It's not really a hopeful. It's it's more of a knowing that as long as I continue to do what I do and be
I
consistent with
understand.
being me, it's going to impact. So I don't really hope for anything. I just know that it's going to happen when it happens organically.
Then why social media?
Hmm? Say
Then why
again?
social media?
Why
Because
not
you could
social
do
media?
all that things you just said you could do in the confines of the where you are without taking it to social media. But
To
you
be
didn't.
to answer that question, why social media? Because if you're a business, social media is your platform to be. I am a business man. I'm
I
and
got
a
it.
business
Your business
man.
is to influence others. The
So
people to be
my business is
the
bigger than this influence. It's bigger than that. But
okay.
listen, we could do this all night, sir.
I know,
But
I know, I know, baby. Reel me in, baby. Do what you do.
Nope. All right, y'all. It's been real. So
yes,
tonight
sir.
we've been talking. Ultimately, we've talked about, does real recognize real?
Does it?
Does it? And we've come to the conclusion that real is subjective. Real is a matter of perspective. What's your real reality may not be someone else's. But at the end of the day, just because it's not your reality doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Just because it's not something you're doing doesn't mean that you should minimize that person's level.
Yeah.
You know, just because they're working at McDonald's and they got their first car and it's a 89, okay? You don't know what that person's struggle is. That's an accomplishment for them. Like, they're probably the first person in their family to ever get a car. You don't even know that. Just and we're gonna close, but even the video earlier in the group, they I know it was not the nicest environment. It was quite distasteful per se, but there was a husband and a wife, and in there, and you know, the wall didn't look good. It looked like they were maybe in someone's unfinished basement. I don't know. Okay. But they had a place to stay. They had a roof over their head. And they're married.
Mm-hmm.
They're husband and wife. And they were genuinely happy to see each other. So while I'm not me per se, but while people are looking like you need to be, you being naked, and you know, because you know how they do the little funny videos or whatever. And she threw the towel on the bed, and he was like, "Come here," you know. He was ready to eat him down.
Ta-da.
Know what I'm saying? Meanwhile, everybody want the wall to be clean.
Okay.
They want the stuff to be picked up. And people didn't give a damn about that.
You're right.
They might have been living out by the trash, you know. So this is a step up. I don't know what their circumstance is, but they was doing this shit together.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So that's real.
To them.
To them, this is real.
Yeah, that's their reality.
You know. Meanwhile, you can't even get that motherfucker to text you back. So it's like, what's real?
I got one more before I slide out of here. And this one just hit me this right here. You had a whole white woman in charge of NAACP and claiming to be black, and everybody believes she was black. I'm out.
Just like she was high yellow.
High yellow, you know what I mean? Straight white. But it's okay though.
High yellow. Okay, that's
reality bites.
That's it.
That's an interesting
high
one.
yellow.
That's
So,
interesting.
Tonight we had the one and only Hoodoo Rising.
Mm-hmm.
The one and only Dr. Love Jones of Jim N.I. You can find them on The Culture Radio. They will be on tomorrow. It's Thursday at 7 p.m. And make sure I move this out the way for the people in the bike. Okay. So 7 p.m. Eastern tomorrow, Thursdays. If you don't find them or unable to listen to them on the Culture Radio app, download the app. Then you can catch them on their previous shows on Spotify, Google Podcasts, iTunes, and I'm sure they can tell you about all the others as they mentioned. So it's been wonderful having you all on tonight.
It was wonderful to be here.
Listen, anytime I'm on Sipping in Conversation, it's a great day. You know, so I'm grateful to be here. I'm grateful once again to be here. So thank you for having us. And this is our first time actually doing something, being on a platform together. You know what I mean?
I know. This is my first time on Sipping in Conversation, and this is my first time being on a podcast that's not Jem and I with my partner.
Absolutely, that's a fact. So
that's
y'all listening. You know, hit us up. We come correct on platforms. I mean,
hey, and you done good.
You're done good.
You're done good.
And I waited patiently. I waited so patiently for my turn.
Listen, but you know what? I apologize, and I know Buddha didn't think about it either. We didn't ask y'all what you was sipping on. I seen you got this blue drink in your hand, Hoodoo.
Oh, yes. This, I guess, is the Blue Ocean. It's
Okay.
and blue Caraco, and then and peach juice and a little bit of pineapple.
Hey.
Hey, you ready to go back on vacation? Is what you saying?
Always. Let's go, baby.
listen.
I'm with it. You know, we need to get back out there in that pool and get us another phone party.
So,
okay.
listen.
Where we at now?
No.
I'm a little salty about Puerto Rico, but I'm gonna just let that be. I'm gonna just leave that alone.
Oh, you salty? Not me. I'm not salty at all.
Because you going.
Exactly. I'm gonna be there.
No, I tell you what, I'm gonna bring Puerto Rico to the house.
Okay.
You got a little mamacita out there or something?
Yeah, we there, we there.
Well, I
while
wanted to be
you
in Puerto
bring
Rico.
Puerto
That's
Rico
all
to
I
the house,
Is it too late?
I'ma be-
Hold on. Look,
I'm gonna be in Puerto Rico in the house.
I might need to find out what them dates
Too late
is.
what?
Too late to get in because she want to get in.
No.
We'll
Bro.
talk behind the scene. Let me see how much I got to
Listen, y'all gotta
scrape
come
out
on
my
now.
piggy bank.
Come on now, we
See how she do me since I'm going away? She want to go to Puerto Rico now. All right, guys.
It's the opposite of what you usually hear. The price actually went down.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we're gonna talk. Love y'all. We gotta go. We out. Love y'all.
Peace.
We sipping in conversation. Sipping in conversation.
Beat me up, Scotty. Beat me up, Scotty.
Sipping in conversation. We sipping in conversation. Sipping in conversation.
Beat me up, Scotty. Beat me up, Scotty.
Sipping in conversation.